Okay, my name is Milton Sipp, and I am the assistant head of school and principal of the Riverdale Country School in New York. Lucy referenced our headmaster, Dominic Randolph, who has been really responsible for leading the charge with character education in our school. And it's been great to work with him, for all of us to do this work together, as he's brought like a lot, just an amazing amount of innovation with this program and helping us to really live and breathe the program at the school that manifests itself in lots of different areas of the school. I also want to say, just that I have this opportunity to thank, because there are a lot of roads that have converged to bring us here today. So many of you know Kyla Coben, who is the founder of the Ministry of Awesome. She is an alum of our school, and last week, in fact, gave the commencement address, which was really an excellent presentation to our graduating seniors. Also, it was great to have Stuart Cameron last year around this time with his family in New York. We had the opportunity to meet and to talk about programs in positive psychology. And then with Billy Osteen at the University of Canterbury. All of these roads sort of coming together, and communication and email really brought us here together. And we're just so delighted to be here in this community, and really want to publicly thank all of the Sumner community and the Sumner families particularly for opening up their homes to our students. It's just been, we've only been here for 3 days and it already feels like we're home with family. That's a real example of the world being small, really small in a great way. The work that we've done in character education at the school starts really with our mission statement, because we really felt that in working with this program, it had to be a part of everything that we do at the school. So it just can't be a set-aside program. It can't be something that we talk about in the hallways or something that we sort of, refer to once in a while when it's convenient. It has to be a part of everything that we do. So you can see from, thank you, Richard, you can see from our mission statement here that there are kind of three tenets. There's mind, and there's character, and there's community. It starts with the mission in building character, because in all of these things, what we're really hoping to do with our students is to not only have them leave the school being, great students when it comes to being able to solve quadratic equations and being able to really read literature with a critical eye, but even more important, we feel, is for them to be good people. Character is really about being good people, being good citizens, not only locally, but globally as well. And also, as Lucy referred to, it is important because it equips our students, sort of like, if you think of it as a toolbox. It gives them the tools to deal with some really tough stuff. Adolescence can be a very tough terrain for them to navigate on many levels. And it gives them that toolbox. When they're dealing with those tough situations, they can reach into that toolbox and say, how am I going to respond to this? You saw the devastating statistics that she put up about depression and suicide and things like that. If we can give our kids the tools to be able to reach into that box and say, I can deal with these issues, and have it play itself out with character strengths. Keep it simple. Have them refer to those characters and be able to really refer to them in real life situations. That's just golden. We feel that that is just as important as educating students academically. It is important for them in their lives going forward. So at Riverdale, it looks, if you were to come to the school, I think you would find that character is in every aspect of the school. So you would see it in the athletic program. You see students always referring to some of those character strengths, or coaches talking about character strengths. It's in our assembly program. You see it in our academics. You see it in morning meetings where I lead in the middle school, where I start with silence. And again, this is sort of a part of the well-being, mindfulness. Getting kids to take that collective breath. We start with silence, just so that we can be together and hear each other, hear our thoughts in silence. So it's widespread. It has to be in every single thing that we're doing in order for it to be really important, and also so that it can be very effective. So we really believe very strongly in that. It has to be all over the school. You can see it in many different manifestations. And you're going to hear from the students shortly. When we talk about the academic program, I just want to give you sort of an example of sort of how it all comes together, because as I said, adolescence can be tough. It's tough in adulthood as well. Part of being successful and part of reaching into that toolbox is recognizing that failure is a part of growing up. We're going to fail. You're not going to, all the great works, the Shakespearean works that were written, We talked about it from the American side with the Declaration of Independence. All those things were not written in the first draft. It took draft after draft. It took mistakes. It took people really sort of honing in and trying to recognize that what really works here. So for our kids, a part of their success at school is that we recognize that they're going to fail, and that's okay. And an example of this, one of my favorite projects at school, and Paul had us doing a little bit of this, you're going to hear from Paul shortly, had us doing a little bit of this yesterday with the egg project. So we call it the 6th grade egg mobile project at school. And the 6th graders get together and they have to design a contraption where an egg is going to successfully drop at a 45-degree angle and survive the crash. And it's one of my favorite things to watch take place because you see these students and they're cheering each other on. I love it when the egg cracks, actually. Kids don't, that's great that it crashed. But I like that because what it allows them to do is to celebrate that failure and say, okay, what's my plan B now? What are we going to do as I'm working with my partner? We have to go back, we have to redesign everything, we have to look at what didn't work. We're taking notes, we're collaborating, we're doing teamwork, we're being resilient, we're going to be optimistic that the next time this thing is going to work. And then you see them go through this several times until they finally figure it out. And lo and behold, you're getting all the great works of the scientific method as a part of this. So you're learning, and as a part of that learning, you're failing, you're getting back up, you're figuring out your plan B. And it gives, again, if we're reaching into that toolbox, it tells kids, it sends the message that you always are going to have a plan B and a C and a D, and that's okay for you to have. So it is manifested in all different parts of the school. It is a really exciting program. There's a language that the teachers use when they're writing reports about students. There's also students use self-assessments of themselves. There's a character report card in our lower school starting right with our 5-year-olds where they're having the opportunity to be assessed with a character report card. And so it becomes a part of the culture, just like math is, character education is as well. So I'm going to stop there because I could talk on and on about it. It's such an exciting program for us. But I want you to hear from some of our students. We asked them to pick out, we have several character strengths, and we asked them to pick out some of their character things that they wanted to talk about. No script, said whatever you want to do with this, you're going to present it to the Sumner community. So you're going to hear from them doing it in pairs, one student doing it solo, just so you can get an opportunity to see how they it's through their perspective and through their eyes. So I'm going to have the first group come up.
I'm Natalia.
I'm Elon.
And we're from the Riverdale Country School. And one of the character strengths that our school focuses on is social intelligence. But what exactly is social intelligence? Well, the definition is that it's the capacity to effectively negotiate complex social relationships and environments. But how can one demonstrate it?
All right, well, we have a set of 3 skits to show you the good and bad ways to handle certain social situations. So, what's the first one?
And this is the bad example on how to handle this situation.
Hey, I heard you had a party last weekend, but I wasn't invited.
Oh, right. You didn't get my invite?
No, was it lost in the mail or something?
Probably.
Well, some of the girls in our class said you don't really like me.
It's not that I don't like you. It's just that I kind of wanted a close-knit group of girls there.
But you invited everybody in the class.
No, I didn't.
Listen, if you've got a problem with me...
I don't have a problem with you.
You know what? Forget it.
Okay. Now, now here's a good example on how you'll handle this.
Hey, I heard you had a party last weekend, but I wasn't invited to it. What's up with that?
Oh, so sorry. I just kind of wanted a close-knit group of girls there.
Well, if I was having my birthday party, I would have invited you. I mean, even if we don't talk that much.
I know, but I just don't think our friendship's as strong as I would like it to be.
I mean, you invited everybody in the class.
I did?
You really did.
I didn't really mean it that way. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, so, so what this skit demonstrates is that when using your social intelligence, one should be able to resolve conflict. So now this is our second skit, and once again, this is the bad example on how to handle this.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I've been having a really tough year lately. I mean, my parents are always fighting, and I have no idea what to do about it. I'm failing in practically every class, especially math, and I don't know what to do.
Well, did you go ask for some help?
Yeah, I've been seeing Miss Casey Cohen for practically weeks on end now, and she's giving me great help, but I don't know what to do.
Why can't you just get a grip on your life?
It's not that easy. Not everything's my fault, you know.
Well, maybe it kind of is.
Aren't you my friend? Aren't you supposed to be helping me?
Yeah, I'm giving you my honest opinion.
You must be kidding me.
What?
I can't.
Okay. And now this is the good example.
Hey, I've had the roughest year, and I don't know who I can talk to about it. I mean, you're my best friend, and I figured you could help me. I'm like failing in math, and my parents are crazy.
I'm so sorry. Did you go ask for some help?
Yeah, I've been seeing the school counselor, and she's been giving me great advice, but I still feel like everything's out of control.
Well, I'm actually doing really good in math right now. I could help you if you need some.
Would you really tutor me?
Of course.
Oh, thank you.
And so what this skit demonstrated is how one, when using their social intelligence, should be able to acknowledge and understand the feelings of others. Now, this is our last and final skit, and this is the bad example.
Hi, I'm Milan.
Hi, Natalia.
Are you new here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, where'd you come from?
I came from PS 81.
Public school?
Yeah.
What's that like?
I guess it's pretty normal.
Don't you guys, have no resources whatsoever?
No, we have textbooks, computers, good teachers.
Okay, well, good luck finding your classes.
Okay. And now this is the good example.
Hi, I'm Milan.
Hi, Natalia.
Where'd you come from?
PS 81.
Oh, really? My brother just transferred in from public school. He's really liking it here. Do you like the campus?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we have some classes together. I could always show you around if you want.
Sure, that would be great.
All right, awesome.
Thanks. And so what this final skit showed is how, when using your social intelligence, one should be able to adapt in your different social situations.
Well, thank you for watching.
Yeah, that's all from us. Thank you.
Zest. We're not talking about the zest that you scrape off from lemons and limes. We're talking about the zest that is positive energy, like the one that we just displayed. Now here's another example from my friend Ben.
Okay. Okay, so as you heard, I'm Ben, and so an example of zest is, let's say you're studying for a test that's coming up soon, and you open up your textbook and you go, oh my god, it's too much to study, I'm really bad at this subject, but why zest but why zest is really good and helpful, and it's a great trait to have, is that when you have it, is you can be really interested in stuff, and you can be really enthusiastic with the subject, and instead of going, oh my god, I can't do this, you can have a more positive mindset, and instead of going in a classroom and failing the test, you go in there and pass it and do really well on it.
Way to go, Ben.
Thank you.
Another example of zest, for the example that I had, was when I first came to New Zealand. I don't really know anything about rugby, but I had the right attitude and the right mindset, and I slammed it, and I got from Paul, and I dominated rugby. Rugby! All Blacks, let's go! Let's go, All Blacks! Let's go! Nice job, Ron. Zest! Zest! Everybody now, zest! 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 Grit! 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 Okay, so my name is Charlie Olson.
I'm August Byben.
We're from Riverdale Country School, and ours is grit. Grit is defined as strength of character. This character strength in particular helps all other character strengths. We will give you an example of what grit is.
Let's say that Charlie decides he wants to start rugby. He's never done it before and is scared of getting hurt. As he starts the season, he's getting wrecked by the other teams. However, instead of quitting, he decides to display his grit. As the season goes on, he tries as hard as he can and gives it 100%. This is gritty because he stepped out of his comfort zone to try something new and then gave it his all, persevering through the obstacles which otherwise may have deterred him.
Grit does not only apply to sports, but to all things. Anything you do requires grit, because challenges will always occur. However, it is not whether you can be knocked down that displays your grit, but whether you can get back up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Showing gratitude is definitely easier said than done. Even though it can simply mean expressing appreciation for anything, it is really so much more. The ability to say thank you when you realize that what someone has done for you is truly a strong character strength. Many people think that they have mastered this quality, but I believe that is one of the hardest to master. First, you have to realize all the things you are grateful for. It could range from the most simple daily occurrences to the events that rarely occur. You should acknowledge both by words and deeds. Many people don't realize that even something as small as saying thank you could really make someone happy. In the U.S., we have a holiday specifically dedicated to gratitude called Thanksgiving. It celebrates the journey of the Pilgrims on the Mayflower to North America and led to the creation of the USA. As much as I love this holiday because of the traditional foods like turkey and watching the American football games, I feel conflicted about it. This is because I believe that you should show appreciation for what you have every day, as opposed to assigning it to just one day. Gratitude is something that cannot be taught, learned, or practiced. It has to come solely from within the individual. You have to fully mean what you say. One of the most simple ways is to merely say thank you. It is hard to believe that just 2 words can make such a difference, but they really can. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Seiji. Hi, my name is Exie. Our presentation is about optimism. Optimism is showing a positive attitude even when facing a difficult situation. We have created several images of optimism that we are going to share with you now. The first one says that optimism is knowing that while every day may not be a good one, there is something good in every day. The next one says, remember to be as kind as possible because the world has enough negativity already. This one is kind of just funny, but to be optimistic, leave our frowns in here and take a smile. Okay. This next one is similar. Optimism is keeping the good thoughts in that little bin, I guess, and getting rid of the bad ones in the paper shredder. And always know that happiness is just... Oh, wait, no. Okay. Optimism is knowing that you have to live through the bad days to get to the good ones. And always remember that that happiness is just around the corner. Maybe not this one or the next one, but eventually you'll find it. And I have a story about being optimistic. So when I was coming to New Zealand, I couldn't transfer in Australia because of my citizenship. So I had to get to New Zealand a day later. But taking on a positive attitude, I realized that I could stay in LA for an extra day and go to Santa Monica. And also, my flight to New Zealand would be a lot shorter. So I was pretty happy about that. Another example of optimism is last fall, me and Exie were on the field hockey team, and we hadn't won a single game, and we hadn't scored a single goal. And we arrived at our opponent's school to play, and they were a lot bigger than us, and they were all like older than us, and we started playing and they were so much better than us, and the game was almost over and we were losing pretty bad. It was 3-0, and then we didn't let that get to us. We kept trying hard and we didn't let losing bring us down. So we thought optimistically, and in I think the last 4 or 5 minutes we scored the first goal of the season, and even though we lost that game, it was still pretty cool because we scored that goal and we played pretty well, and in the end we got cookies too. So. Thank you.
It's a very tough act to follow, is following all of my students. But I will try my hardest to do just as well as they did. So first of all, thank you to the Sumner School administration and to the families here. for welcoming us here in Christchurch. Your warmth and generosity is so appreciated, and we hope to one day have the opportunity to welcome you all to Riverdale in New York City. Our kids, as you just saw, have just presented some of our character strengths to you that we focus on at Riverdale. And my role at Riverdale as the school's Director of Service Learning is to try my best to incorporate these traits into the school day by getting the kids outside of the classroom and connecting them with the community around us. And we believe that only by engaging with and showing gratitude towards our neighboring community partners can students truly form a lifelong commitment to service. And that is what we strive to achieve with every Riverdale student. Rather than talk about service learning at length, I would like to show you a movie that speaks for itself. Hopefully the audio is working. And this movie, just so to preface it, was just released not even a week ago. It has not been shown to any audience yet. And I was told if I were to show it, I was, to give a disclaimer that it is a very rough cut. It does, however, feature one of our students that's here today, and she doesn't even know it yet. So no one's seen it but me, essentially. So I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Max Horn, and I'm in 8th grade. Service learning is learning about myself and my community around me through helping.
A few years ago, we made the transition from community service over to service learning. So it's taking the learning that's happening within the classroom, taking the kids outside those four walls into a larger picture.
I've always been very interested in gardening and the environment. These flowers, when they come up, they need more sunlight and room to grow, so we push aside the leaves around them to give them space. Me and a few of my classmates, along with Miss Klein, have visited a local park called Endor Park, and there we've helped clean up the park and make it nicer for people in Riverdale to experience.
Not only did they go in and clean the park up and plant bulbs in the spring, but they also took a real activist role. They wrote to the community board advocating for an additional garbage can to be placed there and then for better lighting to be put in the park so that it was a more open and engaging and welcoming community.
I think it makes people in the community feel proud, and it makes Riverdale have an impact on our neighbors. It's very satisfying.
I'm Exie and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Myra and I'm in 6th grade.
My name is Shreya and I'm in 6th grade.
At POTS, which stands for Part of the Solution, and it's located nearby in the Fordham section of the Bronx. We have a weekly trip that goes out on Wednesdays.
The Family Club, I think it's a great program, and I think it's really nice for the kids to come in and support these kids in the one-on-one tutoring, because the Family Club kids and the volunteer kids are both getting something from each other, learning experience from each other.
What I like about POS is that you get to work with kids that they don't have as many opportunities as other people have, so they get the help that they need.
At POTS, I helped a 4th grade boy do his homework. So what's like the lesson learned? It was my first time kind of teaching someone and helping them with something, so I realized like it's a really good feeling, and it's also really fun.
Sometimes I also learned like different strategies that I didn't think about. For instance, like when I was doing a math, I realized that I learned it better by me explaining it to someone else, so it really helped me. And it feels really good knowing that you helped someone.
There is a really good sense of community spirit and community service with the Riverdale kids. They take it seriously, they're teaching, they're really into it, and it's really nice to see that. This is what the Bronx is about. It's people helping other people.
They really need us, and so it's a really good feeling.
It just makes me feel good for like helping other people.
We want to build and we strive to build a lifelong commitment to service in every Riverdale student.
It's like changing the world one step at a time. I think that's really important.
We brought with us some of our character strengths laminated cards for you all. We've placed a big pile of them in the back, so as you exit, please make sure to pick one up if you're interested. And it explains some of the character strengths along with some neat icons to remember them by for you all. And we have some more that we will leave with Mr. Cameron. So he can place them in the school office as well. So I hope that you enjoyed hearing a little bit about how we work character into this service aspect at the school, and my colleague Susan will present on the Global Studies program.
Hello, another tough act to follow. My name is Susan Polisi, and I'm a Spanish teacher, a dean, and the director of global studies at Riverdale Country School. And I also want to express my gratitude to all of you for opening up your homes and your hearts and New Zealand to us. It's been a really illuminating and meaningful experience for me already, and I've only been here for like 3 days. So my job is one of the best in the world. I get to travel all over the United States and the world with students between the ages of 11 and 17, or actually 18 years old. And we travel with the ideas of, cultural immersion and language immersion and service and sometimes subject-based learning in terms of science, or our jazz band went to Australia last year. And these experiences exemplify what our character education is all about at Riverdale, because when you enter a new environment, go to another country, you are really forced to use your character strengths. Without grit and zest and social intelligence and curiosity, it is extraordinarily difficult to navigate new landscapes, new customs, living in a homestay. We always stay with families and go to schools. We also have students come to our school and stay. And in order to navigate all of these experiences, our students have to use those strengths and really work with them to succeed in these experiences. And the truth is that they do every single time. I've traveled with hundreds of students, and no matter where we go and what we're doing, at the end they come out feeling empowered, more independent, happy, and it breeds life into all of what they do at school, in their homes, in their extracurricular activities. And so that is why we do this program and why it is so important. And I have to say, you see that these students are empathetic. They have to not only understand what it's like to come into somebody's home, but also to accept others in their home. And they get to look at the world from a different perspective, see the world in a different way. And in doing so, they not only learn more about the world at large, but about their own strengths and about their own families and about their own community. And they become agents of change. They see the issues that are out there in the world and realize that they are not separated from them. Sometimes when things are too close to home, you don't realize it. But once you step outside of your comfort zone and try something new, you realize that you are a participant in the many, many difficulties that we see in the world. And the students come back and they want to do something about it. And that, to me, makes me cry literally every time I step off a plane and have to send them home. I want to just keep going. The other thing is they realize that we're not all so different. We are very unique in our cultures, and that is tremendous, and that's what makes the world so special. But we all have fears, and we all have passions, and we all have interests. And so really for me, and I say this wholeheartedly, I have the best job on earth. So thank you.